Hey, I'm Drew, and this is the Drew Petersen Podcast, home to one chairlift ride, ski pole microphone, and real story at a time. This chairlift chat is with Cam Smith, coming hot off the sport of Skimo's debut and his debut at the Olympics. Cam is a world-class mountain athlete, both as a Skimo racer and as a mountain runner. I was honored to connect with him so close after the Olympics, and I think it really comes through in the interview that a lot of his reflections are so fresh. Before we drop into the interview, a quick note from this episode's sponsor. Do you want a future with clean air, clean water, and a livable planet? Whoa, crazy. Same here. In the US, 181 million Americans recreate in and love the outdoors. Protect Our Winters calls this the outdoor state. And together, folks like you, me, and our communities have the ability to act on climate. I've been part of the Athlete Alliance at Protect Our Winters for over 8 years at this point. To learn more, get involved, and join Team PAL, visit protectourwinters.org. All right, let's raise the bar. Keep your tips up and drop in. Cam Smith, you are hot off the Olympics, back home in Crested Butte, and I'm asking the question that I'm sure everyone's asking. What was it like to meet Snoop Dogg?
He was honestly such a chiller. Like, they didn't really tell us what was happening. It was just like, oh, like, I want to introduce you to someone that's into Skimo. And I'm like, great. Like, we've had this conversation 100 times. And we come around the corner and he's like standing there surrounded by like 100 cameras. And we like kind of wiggle our way in like, hey, Snoop. And he like gave us a big hug, said he was so proud of us. Like, he was like the nicest dude. And yeah, I'm just glad we got to meet Coach Snoop.
Dude, that is unreal. Like, I mean, obviously everything following you at the Olympics was so cool to see both you and Anna like seizing the moment, but then that was just a trip. We're like less than a week removed from you actually racing in the Olympics and traveling across the world to come back home. Like, what in this moment are you doing to wrap your head around what just happened?
Yeah, so my wife and I were supposed to have like a little mini vacation after the games, and the logistics just became too much, and we decided to come straight home. And so we've been trying to have our like mini vacation here. And so we've honestly just been like staying inside our house, and she's been like grabbing takeout dinners, and we're like going on like skis in the dark and just kind of like spending time, the two of us, and letting things calm down and catch up on sleep, and just trying to really slowly ease back into life. And I'm just, yeah, kind of stoked to be home because so many people were so excited about it. And now I get to, yeah, share it with everyone that was supporting us so much when we were there. Yeah.
That's too cool, man. And it's good to hear that you're giving yourself the social recharge, the introverted recharge of your batteries. You know, let's keep it focused here in Crested Butte because you have a really amazing local community here. I was here right before the Olympics at the Alley Loop, a Nordic race for the listeners, and there was a whole gang rocking fake ginger beards and chanting "Go Cam Go" while they're skating their way through the race. What's it like to have the support of your community with you? And do you have any practices or like, do you have that in the back of your mind when you're competing?
Definitely. Like the Olympics in and of itself, like resonated with people in a way that like nothing I've ever done has resonated with people. And what I mean by that is I think a lot of athletes struggle with like pursuing their own athletic dreams feels like a selfish pursuit. Like, oh, I'm out here doing all this hard work and people are supporting me doing this and that just so I can achieve my dreams. And maybe I inspire someone along the way and maybe like I have a cool story to tell. And that's all true, but it's like hard to feel and see sometimes. But the Olympics completely changed that of like, it felt like for the first time Anna and I were doing something with our racing that meant something to people and really lifted people up and inspired people and made people proud and was something that like so many people felt a part of. And the Alley Loop was a really good example of that of like, wow, these people are like having a really good time and pumped just about like how Anna and I perform on the race course. And it was really cool to like just do something that meant something to people. And yeah, so watching the alley loop was like touching and hilarious all at the same time that people were dressed up like that. And it was just a really kind of like eye-opening example of that like resonance that has reverberated.
That's so cool. And it's when I hear you speak to that, it feels like it's the first thing that meant something in that realm. Like that's also an overnight success story because, you know, the rest of America sees you on the NBC broadcast competing in the Olympics, and it seems like it happened overnight. And we'll get into how fast things accelerated for you and USA Skimo just in the past few months. But that overnight success story, like we don't see like the past decade plus of you stacking bricks every single day. And I just want to give you flowers for all of that done in silence, in secret on your own. Um, now that things have accelerated as fast as they have, what's the kind of whirlwind been like? Because you and Anna didn't even know if you'd have a spot in the Olympics until November when you were competing in the World Cup at Solitude. It was literally Anna's first Skimo race, and you were just hoping to get an Olympic spot for North America, and then it became your first World Cup win. When you look back at that moment now, how are you reflecting on that moment of even earning your Olympic berth?
Yeah, man, it first of all, thanks of like the kind of the process of like finding out what we were capable of individually and as a team is something that I'm passionate about and would have done anyway and will continue to do anyway for the rest of my life. Of like, I just really want to find out where my limits are. It's like, oh, maybe my limit is almost making the Olympics. And I'm going to tell everyone every 2 or 4 years, like, oh, you see those games? Like, I almost went there. And I was like, maybe that'll be the edge. Or maybe it'll be just getting there. Or maybe it'll be like, yeah, being on the podium of World Cup and just like, we both, Anna and I, continue to like knock those expectations out of the park. And it's just been the experience of a lifetime to like not not be limited by like what we can dream. Like we just keep going in with curiosity and just keep getting surprised, and it's like the greatest feeling ever. And yeah, still really hard to process. So we'll do this same interview in a year and I'll give you a more thought out answer to how I'm reflecting all that. Cause yeah, it kind of feels like we're still in it. Like it was just a few days ago that we kind of like, yeah, knocked those expectations out of the water again and really felt like we, yeah, performed out of our minds in the games. And it's just all such a wild ride.
Well, deal that we'll reflect on it in another year. I think a lot of us who were following along with you are excited to be fans for life and excited to hear those reflections in a year, like really seriously and genuinely. I hear you speaking about curiosity, and that's a superpower right there. I think, you know, from the outside perspective, the other superpower that I saw you competing with, and Anna as well, is fun. You both were so full of joy in everything that we're seeing on social media, everything we're seeing on the TV broadcast. You were actually having fun while you're redlining in the mixed relay, handing it off back and forth between the two of you. Like, do you think that fun was a competitive advantage for you?
Totally. Like we were both living our dream. Like it was a lifelong dream just to make it on that stage, and we wanted to have fun while we were there. And like it was this big kind of narrative before the race of like, obviously we want to compete well while we're here, so how do we do that? And we kind of came to the conclusion that like racing just with that value of like enjoying the process and working hard and kind of honoring the values that got us there was going to be the way to make the most of the experience and like create the best memories and also race the best. Like it was all connected. And that was similar before Solitude, where we were going in like, okay, there's a ton of pressure on us. Like people's careers are on the line that are like part of our team, and people that have supported us and people that put in huge efforts to host the World Cup and support the team and donated their own money and their own time and years of their own time, and just to like put us in that position. It's like all these people want is for us to like try our best and execute a good race. And that was kind of like the attitude that helped us succeed at Solitude. It was, yeah, like I'm saying, basically the same thing in the Olympics of like, let's just honor everything that's got us here, which is pushing ourselves, racing well, and like having fun while we're at it. And that led us to like winning a World Cup that like we kind of had no business winning. And then it led us to getting fourth in the Olympics where we kind of had no business being there in the first place. So we just kind of kept sticking with what works for us, I guess.
For what it's worth, you had been business winning the World Cup and you had business getting fourth in the Olympics. And the reason I know that is because you did it.
Right. It's easy to see now.
You are obviously a very humble guy. Was there an imposter syndrome, like as an element of that though, like in, achieving these things that seemed like far off moonshots?
That was like a huge part of the mental work I did getting ready for this because like all spring, summer, and fall, I knew that the Olympics was going to come down to yes or no, are you going or are you not, based on this 30 minutes in December. And so I knew we were going to have this huge high pressure moment. And in the work I did leading up to that, a really important takeaway was the more like you evaluate the outcome of something while it's happening, like, is the race going well? Is it going poorly? Am I in the position I need to? Do I need to pass that person? Did that transition go well? Like anytime you're evaluating something as good or bad, it's taking you away from executing in that moment. And so that was something I really focused on practicing all summer and executing in the races. And then that's kind of expanded out to how I feel before and after the races too, of like, all I'm trying to do is execute everything the best I can. And I'm not worried about whether we're in first place, 12th place in the Olympics, in the like backyard race with a stopwatch. Like I'm really just trying to like execute in each moment. And that's kept that imposter syndrome at bay and let me continue to like keep dreaming big.
Dude, hell yeah. That is so cool to learn from right now. Let's go ski a lap and do another one of those.
For sure.
I want to keep going with this mental performance and the mental preparation you were doing. Again, as an observer, seeing the transitions in the races and how easily transitions can win or lose a race, because you can make up seconds or you can lose a lot of seconds competitively. And the training that I've heard, you and Anna were doing thousands and thousands of transitions and reps in that. With this mental preparation of focusing on just executing what you're doing, do you feel like that's a lesson that you can expand on to the rest of your life outside of competition as well?
Totally. I think that the takeaway there that I'm trying to incorporate into just my thoughts and feelings in daily life is finding that presence with my thoughts and feelings too. And like if I'm anxious about something, to just have that thing that I'm dreading happen once instead of worrying about it 2, 3, 4 times and then it happening in real life and then it happens 5 times. And so it's like, yeah, like it's going to be difficult to manage this, or here's something I'm not looking forward to, or I'm worried about what's going to happen here. But like separate from like doing the things I can control, it's like, yeah, I found some takeaway in the presence there too of like, well, just experience that once, experience that when it happens. Don't worry about it now because it's a problem for later. So yeah, I guess that's a takeaway from that kind of sports performance that has connected with the rest of my life.
That's so cool. I mean, sports psychology goes well beyond just that moment, competing in the Olympics. So I want to kind of go back to the acceleration of everything over these past few months of earning the Olympic berth at the Solitude World Cup to then absolutely throwing down, popping off at the Olympics. You got 11th in the solo sprint event and then 4th in the mixed relay. Everything went so fast, and it's not just for you. It's also for Skimo as a sport. It's for USA Skimo. It's for the opportunities and potential of Skimo, in the future, this season, World Cups, future Olympics. What gets you excited about the future of the sport right now?
Yeah, like that's something that Anna and I felt like we had the opportunity to do going into the games. This is us showing our sport to the world and also setting the table for the team and for the sport for decades to come. And so that really informed the way that we went about the whole process too, of like, we need to show who we are, show that we're having fun, show that this sport is great and that it takes you to amazing places. And it's just like Skimo's hot right now, and we wanted to show that with just having a good time out on the course. And it's really crazy to think about the doors that we just opened for the future. Like, this got the attention of major media outlets around the world. It got the attention of the US OPC. It got made these future conversations for our team so much easier. Or kind of the joke has been like, our federation's job got a lot harder because now they have a lot more work to do, but the conversations got easier, approaching sponsors and networking with other kind of organizations and teams. Like, it's really cool to know that what we did on the race course, the way that we raced and the attitude that we demonstrated out there, really made a difference for the people that come after us. And we're super proud of that too.
You should be. It's the ripple effect of what you just did and what you're going to continue to do. You'll never know.
Right.
But I will tell you that I am going to sign up for Power 4 next year.
Yeah, all right.
And that is in large part due to watching you guys and being like, hell yeah. Let's do this. That's awesome. Man, with all of this, the impact that you're having on a sport like Skimo, I also want to just ask you, you're a dude from Rockford, Illinois, and you got hooked on it when you moved out west here to the Gunnison Valley to go to Western. What element of that, also are you carrying your Midwest pride forward with?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a running joke too, is when you take Anna and I and then our two alternates, we're from Park City, Jackson Hole, Aspen, and Rockford. And I really like that part of the narrative of I didn't grow up skiing, which sometimes you can tell when I'm on the course. But it's I grew up in a blue collar town of people that worked hard and were have these really cool values of being passionate about life and curious about what is possible in life. And I'm just really glad to represent the people from Rockford. It's just, who would have thought I'd be here. And it's exciting, all the confusion that people have had that I grew up with, of I didn't really realize you knew how to ski and I didn't know what Skimo was. And now I'm tuning in and seeing you on NBC, and it's just been kind of fun to surprise people.
Heck yeah, man. That Midwest work ethic comes through too in that decades long overnight success story of all the bricks you laid to get here. I want to kind of also hit on, especially because probably most of the people who watch this or listen to this are skiers. You are also a badass elite professional trail runner. And if anything, that's what you were kind of better known for until a week ago, which is pretty cool. Are you excited to go running and, embrace that other aspect of your life after all of this buzz and hype?
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I think Anna and I are really looking forward to going to the same races because we have similar schedules in the summer too. And kind of being just dropped into that completely different world, but kind of doing it together. Because that's been one of the takeaways from this whole process, is that it's been wild, going through kind of becoming overnight Olympians and all the media attention and all the excitement that came with it. And I have someone that's been going through the same exact experience side by side with me. And so it's been really nice to have someone to process it all with. And then we're going to kind of do the same thing in the summer, show up to all the same running races and talk to all of our same friends there. And it's going to be, crazy to share these stories. But I have someone else to go through all the weirdness with.
That's awesome, man. And it's part of your success in the mixed relay too. You're both supporting each other, learning from each other through the process. Back on the run note, you're part of the POW Athlete Alliance. I guess you're kind of bridging the gap between run and ski, and I kind of like to do the same. With this Olympics, there was the Ski Fossil Free initiative and a petition to the IOC to make a difference on keeping winter alive and making sure that we can ensure future Winter Olympics. With a little bit of time to reflect, not much, like, how do you kind of wrap your head around that element of things, and also coming back to North America during a historically bad snow year? We'll just be honest about it. What was it like to be kind of part of that moment?
Yeah, like I almost, in some ways, like the fact that it was snowing in Italy takes the attention away from the world is in an obvious climate crisis. Like, people turned on the TV and they saw images of white fluffy snow most of the time in most of the events. And that's like so abnormal competing on the World Cup for the last 10 years. Like, probably of the 10 years I've been racing internationally, like 8 of them have looked dreary, sad, and scary at some point, or all 3 of those all at the same time. And so I think that like the weather in Italy took the attention away from that. And I would urge people to not let it take that energy away from realizing like how dire of a situation we're in. Like, anyone, yes, in the Western US sees it clearly, but maybe if you live on the East Coast of the US or in Europe this year, like that kind of attention and energy around climate advocacy fades a little bit. But like, as someone that just went to the Winter Olympics and have all these questions about like, oh, are you excited about the future of Skimo and what this means decades down the road? Like, some of that excitement's kind of muted because I don't know for sure how many more Winter Olympics there will be. And like, will Skimo be part of the 2100 Olympic Games? Because like, I don't know if that Winter Games will happen. And so it's kind of hard to like be excited about the future knowing that climate change could take it all away. And so like my takeaway is that I urge people to keep that energy even when they see snowfall in their region or see it on TV.
That was extremely eloquently said. Way to tie a bow on that. I guess I want to cap this interview kind of the way we started it. You can't answer Snoop Dogg. Who was the craziest, coolest, or most unexpected person that you met when you were at the Olympics?
Oh man, we met so many cool athletes, and like we're so starstruck at pretty much every turn. And on the way home, or at the closing ceremony, Danny O'Shea, the gold medalist figure skater, came up to Anna and I when we were in the parade and like, oh, like, you guys are Skimo, right? Like, can I take a picture with you? We were both looking at him with our jaws dropped, like, you're the coolest guy ever. And then we like chatted the rest of the night and like on the plane home, and he was just like the coolest guy. So yeah, that definitely will stick with me. He was super awesome.
Man, that is so cool. Well, I tell you what, you are that person for a lot of people now. And I'm sure that you're going to get swarmed constantly now that you're back home. Thanks for doing this with me, Cam. And seriously, congrats again. All the respect in the world to you.
Thanks, Drew. It was so much fun.
Thanks to Cam for joining me for a chairlift chat right here in Crested Butte. Wow, that was so cool. That was the first time that I ever met Cam, and I learned so much from him and about him in that interview. But my greatest takeaway was that so many of the characteristics of Cam as a human being gave him a competitive advantage. From curiosity and having fun to the humility that definitely came through in the interview. Congrats again to Cam, as well as his Skimo partner on Team USA, Anna Gibson, on everything that they just accomplished over in Italy and over the past few months, really. It's been so cool to be part of both the skiing community and the running community, just unequivocally supporting what they've been doing. And I'm going to be cheering them on forever. Anyhow, you can follow Cam on Instagram at CamFromCB, and you can follow me and the show on Instagram at Drew Peterski, as well as subscribe to the show's newsletter via Substack. Any discounts that podcast sponsors are offering you as a listener are available wherever links live. And of course, all of that is linked in the show notes. That's it for this ride. Thanks for listening to the Drew Petersen podcast. Until next run, keep your tips up. Ski and enjoy, my friends.